Obasanjo time, I believe it carried the three major tribes along. The same thing applies to Yaradua and Jonathan. At a point, the North felt like no, that they need the power. They were shouting. Yes, they felt marginalized too. That's how Buhari came to play. And since Buhari came to the picture, the Igbos too, they felt like yes, they have been marginalized also, because they have not really played any key role in government since then, in any key factor like that. But generally speaking, I believe I want to speak to this our generation. A lot of mistake has been made by our fathers. So we will not like have this same thing play out. So our children will also say, yes, our children will also be speaking of this marginalization. I strongly believe in the power of unity. Every time I echo that, some people think otherwise, because the way this country is designed, it's not all about population. It's all about building bridges. But you cannot be divided and you want people to come into your coven. So for that, for me, I feel like those of us who feel marginalized should go back to the drawing board, because the future is still ahead of us. And for things like this not to repeat itself, we are in 2023, 2027 will come, 2031 will come. Then what are the plans ahead? But we have to still unite as one people. But before you unite, what is the idea you are selling out there? You know, in the Southeast today, they have to kill one idea for another idea to do what? To have way. Are you holding on to that idea of Biafra, or you are holding on to the idea of Nigeria as a project? If you are holding on to the idea of Nigeria as a project, then you have to let go of the idea of Biafra. Because there's no way you hold the idea of Biafra and hold the idea of Nigeria, and you still feel that yes, other part of the country wants to come and bind and trust these people, because it seems like these people don't know what they really want or where they are heading to. So by the time we bind as one, not just the Southeast, I'm talking about the South and other smaller groups, uniting as a nation, even including, don't see the North as they are populated, they are this. No, it is not the Northerners, it's not their fault that they are populated. It is not their fault with what is happening. If you find yourself, nobody choose to be a Northerner, they were born that way. Neither are we are from the South. We didn't choose where to come from. We find ourselves via birth that way. But now you have nature has bind this issue up. Then what are the solutions? How do you project? How do you go? You make alliances. If you want to be in the picture, you have to show up. You don't just be in the scene and all that. You don't just be behind the scene and say you want to show in the picture. So we need to kill one idea for another idea to show face. And we need to unite. In whatsoever idea we choose to hold on to, unity will build the key word. The elders, the youth, the political leaders, not by throwing stone to one another and all that. Because Rocha said something when he was in government. So many people were calling him names, that he's an Hausa man in Imo State there. They call him all kind of names because he was trying to build bridges. But then they didn't know the damages they were causing. But today we are shouting down marginalization and all that. So nevertheless, I feel that it is the disunity that is coming from that angle, from the elders, the youth, the political leaders and all that. Because everybody wants to be the one to shine, and everybody cannot shine at the same time. That is just the truth. Everybody cannot be on the stage at the same time. We have to project somebody, we have to support that person, we have to make alliances, we have to extend hands of brotherhood, and Nigeria will be a better place. That is if it is the idea of Nigeria. Me, I am a man of Nigerian project. I believe in Nigeria, irrespective of anybody's view. That is that for the marginalization. Because there are other tribes. The Ijaw people self, they felt marginalized. So many people felt marginalized. Other small tribes. But in all, we should all see Nigeria as one. So anybody from any part of this country can be president. Not just because I am from the north or I'm from the south. Because when it comes to marginalization, we don't see the north, like there are also marginalization within the northern part of Nigeria. There are other smaller tribes in the north, Christians in the north, they're also marginalized. But once we just hear north, wants to categorize that, we don't feel the pain. We from the south, I don't think we do feel the pain some other persons in the north do feel for themselves within that circle. We need to be sincere to ourselves.
I
But we
I,
need
I,
to,
I, I, I agree with you because this issue of marginalization, I feel marginalized too in my own state because I keep on saying it that
okay, sir.
in my state, my tribe can never, I'm pretty sure about that. I'm
Okay.
100% sure about that. My tribe can never produce a governor of Bauchi State. You understand? Do I feel marginalized? Yes. Do I care about who that? I care about who becomes governor. But do I care more about his religion and tribe? No, I don't care. If he's doing the right thing that carries everybody, including my tribe, along. The only
Yes.
reason why I would now start shouting that marginalization is the fact that now you are there because of your number. You are not carrying us along.
Yeah,
You are
along.
not carrying everybody along. You are not carrying my people and your people along. You're just doing that for your own personal decision. And so at that point, I will start shouting marginalization. I will start shouting, hating on my tribe and all of that. Now, you also say something about the fact that it's not fault of the north that they have more population. Everybody can have more population,
Yes.
but it's completely wrong for you to have people that you cannot control or children that you cannot control. Even Susi Lamido Susi actually said it, that is government should kind of put which birth control or laws on birth control and all that because you can't keep on having children that you don't even know where some of them are at a particular time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not their
correct.
fault, but
You're
it's also
correct,
the
sir.
duty of the government to deal with that. In China, I think they have laws like that because of their population. You cannot have more than two children or something like that.
Sir, I was
You
even coming
understand?
to, I was coming
The,
to say something in regards to that population because I've argued severally on database, and God in heaven knows that this last election that came out, it really shows clearly that yes, the kind of database we have been banking on in this country has been self-made database, just written somewhere and give to the public to consume. Sincerely speaking, we know our database, like in Nigeria, we have issue of database. You can see the figures that Peter Obi himself pulled in some states within the southeast. Now, if you go and check the previous elections, sir, I can tell you the vote that Peter Obi has for presidential election alone, if you sum the total votes that they had in their state election, gubernatorial election, it's not even up to that. What I'm trying to say is this, sir. For me, yes, I agree the North has a population, but they have downplayed our mentality to make us believe that yes, other parts of Nigeria don't have this population. Meanwhile, the figures are there. We have it because the North is not just North. We have the Northeast, the North Central, and the Northwest. But at the point they are united. So I believe by coming together, let the southern regions as a whole come together. And with that, I believe that producing leadership from any of the zones in the south there will not be an issue. That is my own view on the marginalization. Now, for the insecurity in southeast, this is not a joke for me. I don't see insecurity issue as a joke because insecurity anywhere is insecurity everywhere. If it is happening in Maiduguri, it is happening in every part of Nigeria because this is human life. This is human beings that we're talking about. Lives are being taken, people livelihood are being destroyed, people are being deprived of going to their normal businesses, and things are not really funny there. So people with conscience will not take it for granted. It is far beyond politics for me. Why I say this with deep concern is this. When this insecurity stuff started in Southeast, so many people were like, yes, that is the right thing. You don't support violence in any way. You don't support the civilians that carry gun. It is never done anywhere in the world. Any civilian that start carrying gun is either a rebel or a criminal. That is not the way to go about in a civilized country. Some of us here, when during our days in university, we know how we do avoid cultists. We don't want any business with them. We don't want to be associated with them. Even some of us who go back there to want to rub shoulder with them, we are not proud to come in the public to say these things. But why then, when this thing started, some persons were just clamoring, supporting all these things, even on social media and all that. But now the state it has come to now, some persons are restless in their community, and it's not a good thing. That is why from the beginning, I have always said I said no, insecurity, you cannot support the pattern at which they want to achieve. The reason for the insecurity, we all know. Because as it is now, it is very clear that the process has been hijacked. Because nobody know if it is the ESN, the IPOB, or the unknown gunman that is actually operating in the southeast. The last persons that was arrested recently from Ebonyi State.
All right, you have 30 seconds.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Apostle.
sir. Thank you, sir. The last person that was arrested from Ebonyi State, that they showed them on TV, on live TV that we saw, they all claim they came from Lagos State. They were sponsored from Lagos to come to the east to disturb. Because people will take advantage of this process. The criminals out there who have been idle with their weapon will take advantage of this process because they have given them the avenue to maximize their evil acts. So for me, it's not a good thing, and I pray that the government of the day, God give them the grace to be able to control the situation and handle it peacefully, that people with lives will not be in danger and their businesses and livelihood will be intact. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much for your take. We appreciate. President, my question for you is: do you think that the Southeast asking, shouting marginalization is as a result of them having about less number of states and not having the same number of representation at the federal? Also talking about the Senate and the House of Reps. Or what is your take on about that, sir?
Okay.
Okay.
Is it me?
No, innocent.
Hello.
All right.
Is it
Okay.
about number of states they have? I know with the number of states, the more local government you have, the more your number of senators and House of Reps member. So is it about that or about what's your take generally on that?
Okay. You say, I think Odogo and MT, I think you people need to mute, please. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I'll be listening.
MT, can you mute? Hold on. MT, can you mute yourself? Odogo, can you mute yourself, please? MT, can you mute yourself? Odogo, can you mute yourself? Muhammad, Odogo. And the noise is actually from Odogo. Odogo, can you mute yourself? But if you are there, can you drop Odogo and bring somebody, please? It's just glad that it's not with us. Okay, Innocent, go on this.
Okay. Yes. Okay, I've been listening to people who have been talking since, and when I hear marginalization of Southeast, I usually ask one question: what is it? And sorry, hearing it from a common man like me in Southeast, that is what baffles me. Those people who are enjoying the dividends of democracy in all the regions, Southeast, South, North, East, Northwest, North Central, all of them, they are not shouting marginalization because they were at the table when the proceeds are being shared. They will never shout marginalization. They can only shout marginalization when they want to get the buy-in of common man. So It's as if how people use religion to capture places or to fight their own personal battle. So politicians are using all these languages to fight their own personal battle. And I implore everybody who is a common man, who don't share those share from those common patrimony with them, should be very, very careful not to be used. The reason is that an average Igbo man suffered the same fate an average Yoruba man suffered. An average Yoruba man suffered the same fate an average Northern man suffered. What does that tell you? There is no marginalization. In fact, all of us are being marginalized by the elite. By those people, not only elite, because some of us also are little by little graduating to those level by virtue of our status in our different community. But something, those people who have access to the resources of the country, they are the one marginalizing all of us. If they are to if, for example, a contract are to be carried out in your community, check everything. The elite in that community, they will just capture it and share the money. They will, at the end of the day, choose whoever will work. So if I don't like your face, or your family had issue with me that time, don't come close to the contract I brought from Abuja. So that means all of them at the elite level, they are actually enjoying Nigeria. But common man are being marginalized. So if you don't have tons of millions in your account, you are one of those common man I'm talking about. So stop being used. So my own take is that I was listening, someone talks about seaport. And I asked question, is there seaport in Benue State? Are there no tribe in Benue State also? Are there no, is there seaport in the North Central? I'm talking of North Central. Is that seaport? The seaport they have in the South, is it working? Would they also carry arm and say they are being marginalized? In fact, we in the South, our raw materials are being taken and being shared among the whole Nigeria Federation. Without anything, without no single concern to what happened at the bottom level. They do sharing. And when they do sharing, they give kickback to their laws that give them those money. And they don't care. When common man are shouting in the creek that they can't even farm, there is no land to farm. They can't even do their fishing anymore. Then they will throw some millions again. Then people will have to be quiet, because if you don't quiet, they will kill you. They will get you killed. That's the fact, bro. And those people who are doing all this thing are in the cities. They are not living in the villages. Even the kings are not living in the villages. They are part of the elite I'm talking about. So everybody is being marginalized. So that's the reason why I used to say that an average Igbo man should not see an average Yoruba man as his enemy. If you see each other as enemy, you are just being used. So that is all about marginalization. If we actually think deep within ourselves, we will see that we are all being marginalized. Let's speak truth to power by defining marginalization at the level of our own state. In our own state, I'm not talking about local government. In local government, there is marginalization, irrespective